Okay, I thought I would do a quick check-in before the end of the day. Little shaking things up here. My sister's upstairs. My dad just brought her over, so I'll go say hi and have lunch. I'm in my running gear. See, that's the thing. I should have run earlier today, and then I could have been back and hung out with my family. But at 5:30 a.m., somehow a video call rang on my phone, even though I had it on Do Not Disturb, and I think I even had volume off. And then what happened? Then I had to do some things for my business project, and then that's it. My friend Pauline sent me this new app, Marco Polo, where you can send video messages back and forth, which isn't revolutionary, but somehow this is the first time we're video chatting. I don't know. It's weird. All right, that's all I got for today. Good morning. All right, quick summary of the day. So last we spoke, I was probably in my running clothes, so I went for a run, or maybe I was already back from the run. I don't even remember anymore. Anyways, I did go for a run today to the bridge, and then I went to the bank, and then I was going to deposit a check, and I walk in, and some guy's like, I can help you here, and I'm like, well, I'm just sitting down, I'm writing something. I had to write the check. But I was like, the girl I like seeing, she was at the other thing, and she had a person with her, and I'm like, why is this guy telling me to come sit with him? I should be here for the girl. Whatever. Like, what am I going to do? So I deposited my check, and then I kept running, and I was listening to the Ben Shapiro show, and that was fine. Always very interesting. It was actually, I was listening to the one that I was listening to last night, but I fell asleep and didn't really hear it last night. Oh, yeah, and my sister was here, so they were playing Scrabble. What happened? She laid down to have a nap, and then I went for my jog, and then I think my dad was supposed to go for a walk at 2 o'clock with his friend, but I got back after about an hour and a half, and then, I guess, was he back? No, he was still gone. I don't know, Diane, the car was gone. He was driving her home, I guess. Now I remember, I got groceries. I went and got a couple of, like, plain yogurts so I can put in my smoothie or put my seeds in them, and then I got a couple of fancy little Nordic yogurts that were on sale. I thought that'll be a nice treat for dessert for my parents. And then I got some cheese and some crackers, and I just ate them now in bed. And then, yeah, I came home. I don't know, just looked at emails or something. Oh, no, I guess I was still, I promoted the speed dating for tonight a bit. My dad texted at like 4:45, said dinner will be at 5:15. And I was like, oh, it's a very specific time. They know, but turns out when I went to dinner, we had spaghetti upstairs, and then my mom was like, we've got a Zoom call at 6. So they were doing a Zoom call, like it was a preview of a tour of a Rembrandt exhibit at a museum or something. So that, okay, this isn't that interesting. So I guess, yeah, I came downstairs. So I did the speed dating at 7, and then was actually cool. There was, the first girl was like, hey, we've talked before. This thing is a while ago. I don't know if you remember. I'm like, this is a really cute girl. Why don't I remember? But because I haven't talked to her since, I guess. And, another girl, I said, I was telling her how I'm doing YouTubes, and I post my Instagram stories on YouTube. She's like, oh, what do you vlog about? I'm like, there's not much. It's sort of like, I tell people what I ate for lunch, or that I went for a walk. And yeah, as I was telling her this, I'm realizing, yeah, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? What is the point of this? I don't know. So I should start having a more interesting life, or have more interesting insights, or not even bother with these daily vlogs. Lots of different options. Oh, I know. Let's go look at your question answers from last night. Last night's question was, what would you do with $1 billion? Going Boldly says, house, car, help family, invest, philanthropy. All right, pretty standard. Kiki says, use it to help those who need it. Aw, Kiki has a big heart. So naive. Those little millennials or Gen Zs. So cute. Drop of Color says, buy a house, travel, pay friends' bills, invest, and have a party. Yeah, see, we're starting to see a house theme. People want a house to live in. Maybe I should get a house. I'm going to make $1 billion this spring. Did I tell you that? Kieran says, invest it for the future. That is smart. See, that's the thing. If you have a lot of money, you only can spend what you're making, like an interest kind of thing. Otherwise, it runs out. So if you have $1 billion, well, do the math. Like, for example, okay, let's say you had $1 million, which I had a while ago. If I had just invested that, put it into something like, I don't know, say I could make 10% a year, then okay, I'm paying myself $100,000 a year, and that's the cash that I can live off. and that would be it. So it's not like, oh, I got $1 million, I'm going to spend $1 million, because then you run out of money. So if you got $1 billion, well, that's very good, because then you can like give yourself $100 million a year to live on. Anyways, there was a Twitter discussion about, who was it? Oh, it was people bashing Elon Musk because he's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live. And one girl was saying, they say that for $300 billion you can cure world hunger. Why doesn't he do that? He's so selfish. I'd be like, yeah, he's so selfish. But I pointed out, because one guy said, yeah, like no individual person's ever going to have that much money. Like, again, like he's got the most money. But I pointed out, okay, well, Joe Biden's like putting $10 trillion into his, I don't know, infrastructure and equity and all of this. I said $300 billion is 3% of that. If you could literally cure world hunger with that, why wouldn't he do it? And somebody's like, oh, don't say that Joe Biden's evil. Governments just don't want to solve world hunger. I'm like, what? My point was probably you can't just say, okay, it's $300 billion, solve it. Because all these things that people think money would solve everything, they keep saying like, oh, the gun, like the NRA has power because, or it gives money to politicians. The NRA doesn't have a lot of money. Like if you think that, guns still exist because the NRA has some money and lobbies the government or whatever. I mean, all these Hollywood people or leftists or whatever, they've got enough money that they could say, okay, well, let's pool together our money and we'll donate to the politician or whatever. But it's not that easy. It's not that simple. There's not a magic answer like, oh, if we just had $100 billion, we'll solve global warming or whatever. Like things exist. Just, people have personal responsibility, or there's things you can't solve because of this, I don't know, whatever the situations are. It's not just like, oh, if somebody just paid to do this, it would fix it. Or maybe, I don't know, we'll see. When I have $300 billion, we'll see. Maybe I'll try curing world hunger and everybody will be like, yay, but then I'll have no money left and I'll be back in my parents' basement. Anyways, I'm excited that I was chatting with Pauline on that Marco Polo app. Because did I tell you the story of Pauline? Like how I met her in a bar, like, I don't know, over 20 years ago, and we're still in touch, and I haven't seen her that often. I saw maybe once or twice, I don't know, 5 years ago or something. But she says she wants to get together when her kids are gone again for the week or whatever in a week or something. So that'd be exciting. She says we can go. What did she say we could do? Go for food? Oh, she said poutine. Okay, so here's a question for you. If you wanted to build a website or an app, become a little entrepreneur, and what would your app do? What would your website do?